the Kraken Podcast.
It's the Kraken Podcast, and this is episode 4 of the Road to the Playoff series, presented by TPL Sports.
Here we are.
If you need that shortcut to being not just well-informed, but having those massive, fiery takes you need for the TPL, you are in the right place.
We are absolutely in the closing chapters of the regular season. The pressure cooker is on full blast.
Yeah, okay.
With only 2 weeks left, the margins for error, they're not just thin. They are, microscopic. And you can see that desperation in the standings.
Okay, so before we dive into the statistical mess that is the TFC conference and that terrifying playoff bubble, let's start with the top, the dominant force.
You have to.
Our cold open has to be about the team that is just, they're operating with surgical precision all day, every day. They just extended their win streak to 4 games. They are officially the league's hottest team.
4 straight wins this late in the year. That's the signature of a true contender. All Day is now 9-3, leading the PFC and averaging, 114.6 points per game?
And they're a Hall of Famer team,
Yes.
which we should probably clarify.
Right, yeah. For anyone who might be newer to the TPL, when we say Hall of Famer, we mean a team that's won the championship at least twice.
Okay.
So both All Day and Major Key have that pedigree. And right now, All Day is playing exactly like their history demands they should.
They are peaking at the exact right moment. So let's unpack this. Our mission today is that deep statistical dive into who's making the dance, who is collapsing, and what weaknesses those stats are exposing.
Right.
We're here to give you that shortcut to being the most informed and, let's be honest, the most opinionated person in your group chat.
And to frame this week's analysis, let's just look at the 3 big narratives that came out of Week 12. Because these stories, they're going to determine the final seeding.
Okay, headline number 1, the one we just hit. All Day, Every Day extends their win streak to 4. They look lethal.
Unstoppable right now. Headline 2, though, is the tragic counterpoint to that. Demboy's nightmare continues, a heartbreaking loss, and it cements a massive, soul-crushing 6 straight loss streak.
6 games, their playoff hopes they're gone. Just a stunning collapse.
Completely extinct, yeah.
And headline number 3, which involves half the league.
Pretty much. The playoff bubble is packed. We've got 5 different teams fighting for their lives. Their fate is just hanging by a thread with 2 weeks to go.
The existential dread in that middle tier is just, you could feel it.
You can, because Week 12 gave us the most dramatic examples of how brutal this league can be. We saw results that were just statistical cruelty.
Okay, let's talk about the ultimate pain threshold. The nail-biter of the week had to be that game between All Day and Demboys. The emotional whiplash for the losing side there has to be off the charts.
Okay, so get this. The final score was All Day taking the victory, 96.6 to 95.9.
Oh, that's just, oof.
That is a 0.7 point margin. Stop and think about that.
That's one catch. That's nothing.
It's one garbage time tackle. It's the difference between hope and just utter despair for Demboys. That's what ended their season.
That's the kind of loss that makes you stare into a wall for 3 days.
Right.
But while that was the tightest game, we also saw the opposite. We saw a reminder that consistency still wins big.
The blowout anchor.
Yeah, Major Key, the TFC Hall of Famer, just dominating Banana Hand Bandits, 105.6 to 72.3.
A 33-point margin. That's a statement. And unlike the nail-biters, which feel like chance, this blowout tells a story about planning.
Sure.
Major Key's lineup choices just paid off big time. They went for consistency, and it delivered a win that guarantees them a playoff berth. It was surgical.
And just to show you how tight the rest of the league is, we also saw Sierra Hikes sneak by Bucky Nation by 1.6, and the Valley Lockup Boys took a huge 5-point win over Let 'Em Cook.
Almost half the league played games that came down to the final minutes of Monday night.
So that parity is why the whole picture is still so chaotic.
Exactly. Only 3 teams in the whole league are officially clinched or locked in. That means 5 playoff spots are still completely up for grabs.
Okay, and this is where we do the promised deep dives. Let's start with the TFC conference, which is an absolute logjam at the top.
Right, so you have 2 teams tied for the lead at 9-3, D's Nuts and Mudville Footballing.
D's Nuts is locked in, Mudville is clinched. But the difference between them is staggering, and it really speaks to their strategies.
It really does. D's Nuts leads the entire league with a completely absurd 129 9 points per game.
They're built to just overwhelm you.
Meanwhile, Mudville averages a very solid 114.4, respectable.
But what's fascinating is how these two 9-3 teams are trending. D's Nuts' high-powered offense. It's shown some real vulnerability lately.
That's the key, that 2-game losing streak. That is the concerning slide at the wrong time. They just lost in Week 12 to the Renegade Reapers.
A loss to a 5-7 team. I mean, that raises massive questions. Everyone thought D's Nuts was a shoo-in because of their scoring. But what did the Reapers figure out? Has the league found a way to slow down that offense?
It looks like it could be tactical fatigue, maybe even late-season burnout. While Mudville is out there grinding out ugly wins, D's Nuts seems to depend on, perfect player performance.
Right, high variance.
Exactly. And when one star dips, the whole foundation just shakes. That L2 streak, it exposes a brittleness that a team like Mudville just doesn't have.
So if the playoffs started today...
If they started today, despite the scoring difference, I would feel safer betting on the consistency of Mudville over the high variance of D's Nuts.
That's a strong take. Now, the other Hall of Famer in the TFC, Major Key, they're the anchor.
Yeah.
Sitting at 8-4 with a 3-game win streak.
That's that trademark stability. They're also clinched.
And you can't forget, Vinegar Strokes, sitting at 2-10, officially out, but absolutely ready to play sport.
Oh yeah, they could ruin someone's seating. And overall, the TFC is just an offensive powerhouse. Over 10,000 total points this season.
Okay, let's shift gears over to the PFC. All day, every day, the PFC Hall of Famer is leading that side at 9-3, riding that 4-game win streak like a freight train.
They are firmly established, but the real drama in the PFC is for those final spots.
For sure.
Bucky Nation is holding on to that spicy third spot at 7-5. But they are barely, and I mean barely, holding off Let Them Cook, who are right there at 6-6.
A desperate race. And this is where it gets really interesting. The bubble dynamics. When we talk about these 5 teams fighting for their lives, trajectory matters so much more than your overall record right now.
We're seeing a really stark contrast between teams catching fire and the ones that are just burning out.
Okay, let's start with the sleepers.
Godspeed Grays. 6-6 on a 1-game win streak. For them, every single game is a sudden death playoff game.
I think the Grays are the definition of a sleeper, but the team with the most alarming trajectory shift have to be the Renegade Reapers. They're only 5-7, but they're on a 3-game win streak.
Heating up at the absolute perfect moment.
Right.
That late season surge from the Reapers has the power to flip the entire playoff script. A 7-5 team like a Bucky Nation could be so vulnerable to that kind of run if they stumble just once.
And on the flip side, you have the freefall teams. Let them cook 6-6, but on a miserable 3-game losing streak. Their season has just gone completely off the rails. They went from contender to now desperate pretender. They can't afford another loss.
The free fall is real. And it's even worse for the teams below them. You have Dem Boys, that 6-game skid, Child Please, Jones with a 4-game losing streak. Momentum is everything.
And they have none.
0.
Okay, so the TFC is a mess, the PFC is on fire. But what does this all mean for Week 13? Let's talk matchups and some upset alerts.
The game of the week has to be D's Nuts. On that concerning 2-game slide, traveling to face Bucky Nation, who are also coming off a loss.
It's a huge test of resolve for both of them.
Massive.
Numerically, though, D's Nuts should be the favorite. I mean, they average almost 130 points per game versus Bucky Nation's 113. The data suggests D's Nuts is the play, just because of that high ceiling.
But history tells us momentum trumps math this late in the year. If D's Nuts loses 3 straight, the psychological damage is immense, and Bucky Nation is fighting for their life.
So it hinges on who can shake off the loss first.
Exactly.
Let's get into the most fascinating, statistically bizarre matchup on the slate.
Yeah.
Crack it all day, every day.
Yes. What's so fascinating here is the history. This is where TPL history collides violently with current momentum.
Okay.
Crack, despite being 4-8, leads the all-time series against all day one of the hottest teams in the league, 5 wins to 0.
Wait, what?
They have never lost to them. 5-0.
5-0. You can't just ignore that. That's psychological dominance. This one team has consistently found the recipe to beat a Hall of Famer.
It's undeniable psychological warfare. But you have to ask, given All Day's current roster, their momentum, I'd argue that 5-0 stat becomes more of a distraction for Crack than a real advantage. All Day should roll at home.
I think I agree, but you have to respect that history. It's wild.
Okay.
Moving to the bubble matchup. Mudville Hood Balling at Godspeed Grays.
This is must-win territory for the Grays' playoff hopes. If they lose this, their path to the postseason becomes, well, almost impossibly narrow.
I'm calling this a true coin flip. I mean, the pressure on the Grays is immense. Mudgall is stable, but that desperation can fuel some major upsets.
For sure. And finally, let's wrap the previews with a rivalry rematch. The Valley Lockup Boys on a 2-game win streak versus the Banana Hand Bandits.
The Bandits lead the all-time series 4-2, but the Valley Lockup Boys won their last meeting.
They did back in week 7.
The Valley Lockup Boys are play here. They're riding that momentum, and they have way too much on the line to let this one slip.
I think you're right.
All right, it's time. The part we all wait for, where we stop relying on numbers and we start relying on pure, unadulterated conviction. The Hot Takes Corner.
Let's do it. Bring the heat.
My first hot take is that D's Nuts is overrated.
Whoa.
I said it. Their scoring ceiling is beautiful, but that 2-game losing streak has exposed fundamental brittleness. High-variance teams do not win championships in this league. They will not win the TPL this year.
That's a scorching take, but I have to back it with the data. A 2-game slide for a 9-3 team this late is highly unusual. Historically, teams that peak too early and show those flaws this close to the playoffs, they rarely correct course in time.
Okay, second hot take. Focus on that 5-team bubble. Godspeed Grays is going to miss the playoffs. Book it. I know they just won, but their schedule is too tough, and there are too many teams like the Renegade Reapers heating up who are just going to leapfrog them. They ran out of runway.
Those are strong words for a team right on the cusp, but their path is significantly harder than the teams chasing them. There is no margin for error.
So when we zoom out, what does this all mean? Why is the TPL just this chaotic every single year?
It means we're watching historical parity in action. If you look across the board, 12 games this season have been decided by less than 5 points.
12 games?
Yeah. That just underscores the constant drama. It confirms that almost every weekly result is basically a coin flip. The gap between the best and the worst teams can be bridged by pure luck.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you, the listener. We talked about those historical rivalries, especially Crack leading all day 5-0.
Right.
If that kind of historical dominance against all odds is somehow maintained this week, if Crack finds a way to win, what team currently in a playoff spot suffers the biggest ripple effect?
Ooh, that's a good one. Does it destabilize all-day seeding? Does it give the other PFC teams too much room to catch up? Think about the implications if history repeats itself.
Absolutely. We've got 2 weeks left, and the chaos is just getting started. The stakes have never been higher.
We will see you next week on the Kraken Podcast as we analyze all the fallout and the final standings.
And as always, we'll send you off with a brand new track from the TPL Mixtape Volume 2. You know what to do. Hit play on TPL is mine. We'll see you next time.
The Kraken Podcast.
Line up, set phone flip, I'm cool. Same couch, same hoodie. Whole slate on mute. I don't chase every bounce. I don't sway these drives. I just trust what I built. I study those lines. Lay low, sundown. Only thing loud's my mind. See the matchups like a grid. Every square in line. You see luck on Sunday. I see work from the spring. You see breaks in the fourth. I see all of those things. If it swings and it swings, that's the cost of the stock. I've been here different, yeah. Never bet that clock. Cool now when the red lights climb on the wall. Every score just prove that I read this song. Trident Premier League, feel like mine. TPL, set the line up and recline. Check the chips on the wall if you doubt my call. Don't play in this league, I oversee it all. Trident Premier, I stay ice through it all. Big stage, bright lights, still a clean call. You hope I play when the night games fall. I release these wolves and I oversee it all. And I oversee it all. My homes in the pocket. pocket, that's a jazz type feel. Backstep, eyes float, everything slow. Real still, he don't force no throw. Just erase one red and drop one down like it slipped from a dream. CMC in a flat, that's a low hum threat. Catch playing whole frame, turn sharp, no sweat. JJ, that's why that's a skyline show. Fade hang high like a painting in gold. Kels with the scene, just finding that hush. Third down row, he cut through the rush. You see stars on the field, I see gears in the wall. Every route just a lever that I choose to pull. Every route just a lever that I choose to pull. Every route just a lever that I choose to pull. Every route just a lever that I choose. Try to Premier League, feel like mine. TPL, set the line up and recline. Check the chips on the wall. If you doubt my card, don't play in this league. I oversee it all. Trident Premier, I stay iced through it all. Big stage, bright lights, still a clean call. You hope I plan when the night games fall. I release these wolves and I oversee it all. I oversee it all. Scoreboard swing, but my face stay plain. Seen too many flips to get loud with the game. If you wanna know who been riding this far, read Trident Premier. Check the chips on the wall. Trident Premier, we feel like mine. TPL, set the line up, then rewind. Check the chips on the wall. If you doubt my card, don't play in this league. I oversee it all. Trident Premier, I stay iced through it all. Big stage, bright lights, still a clean call. You hope I plan when the night games fall. I release these wolves and I oversee it all.